If you own an online education company and you want to exit or sell your business, then keep watching. So there's a big difference between exiting your business and selling your business. I was able to start, grow, scale, and exit and sell an info product business, which from what I understand, I don't think lots of people do. And I had this unique journey that I'm really curious about looking back on and going, how did I do that? And then sharing it with people who are in this info product space. What I want to do is share with you what it's like to exit your info product business or your online education business and see if you even want to do that. For those of you who don't really know, info product, online education, I think historically has been coaching, consulting, that kind of stuff. What I want to drive home is if you own an online education business, it's removing this coaching consulting world for 5 seconds here. It should be and usually is centered around a subject matter expert's expertise. They're really in the education industry, right? Not in coaching and consulting. That's why with my company, college.com, baptizing all these coaches and consultants into education, not consulting and coaching. So having said all that, if it is really good education, that means that you're not just looking for teachers, you're looking for people who have actually done the work. So an expert at their craft. We call these in our business subject matter experts. You should be a subject matter expert first before you do any of this. Believe it or not, there are people in the info product space selling stuff that they've never done, and it's exhausting. So in order to build and scale one of these that's just actually really good, you have to actually be a master at your craft. That means that you start out with these info product businesses centered around you and your craft. That's how you get a good, authentic offer going. You start making money, you hit the 100 grand a month mark, you got a small team, congratulations. Now, in order to move on, most people hit that brick wall and go, okay, what do I do with this next? And they get really lost. Do I just keep scaling? Do I follow these new models? Is it now group funnels? Is it now masterminds? It gets really confusing, really exhausting. Everybody has all the answers. Nobody has any right questions to ask. So it's just an absolute mess. But I think the through line that I found in it after coming out the other end and selling the business, I saw that exiting your business will make things much more clear for you. So what does exiting look like, and then how is it different from selling? So exiting is maintaining equity of your business. You still own it. The second is keeping all of the cash flow. The third is maintaining your lifestyle, so you're not sacrificing yourself for the business. And fourth, you have your business require 0% of your time and energy. But generally speaking, those are the things that need to happen in order to exit your business. From my experience, you have to rely very heavily on your team and having a lot of fun doing it. So empowering people underneath you and bringing them up and saying, I want to listen to what you guys think, and just setting the vision and having them run with it. I've talked in previous videos about how to set that all up. You can watch those later. But I just want to make the case that exiting your business is, I think, the first hurdle that people should overcome once they hit that 100K a month. Going through the process of exiting gives you more clarity as what you want to do. Because what you're doing is you're taking yourself out of the equation and looking at your business as an asset, something that's separate from you, to where you can start making decisions about it and it not being tied to you. So whether you want to sell your business or not, you have to exit in order to see forward. And especially if you want to sell your business, you must first exit, which means you can keep your business and still exit. The second thing is selling your business. So I had to go through this process first: building, scaling, empowering your team, exiting, and then selling. So for me, I exited probably a year before I sold. I was probably involved a little bit in those first few months, but there was a time where I didn't do anything for months and then I sold. And that is on purpose. I'll tell you, I spent like way too much money on lawyers, accountants, brokers, bankers, and all that stuff to find out this answer. I'll just give it to you now. So the way that I went about it was, we worked with these brokers, these bankers, and I just started asking them questions. Who would buy a company like this? What are the things we need to do? They were the ones that pushed back on the business to be sold. So it was weird, is I built this business optimized for me, myself, the cash flow, all that stuff, and the info and course world was just consuming all of that brain space. And then the mergers and acquisition world collided with me, and I had to go, whoa, okay, I need to set these businesses up in a way that is agreeable to this world. What I found out was, if you wanted to sell it to a strategic buyer, then you need to basically find that strategic buyer and cater to them. If it's private equity or family office, then you need to basically get it to a place where it's pretty corporate feeling and looking. It's not centered around coaching, consulting, all that stuff. It needs to generate lots and lots of revenue. That was the first thing I needed to understand. Then again, I've talked about this in previous videos. How do you sell a business? Remove key person risk, right? Get yourself out of the equation. That's really what exiting is. The next sort of domino in this info space is try to get to at least $3 million a year of revenue, just top line. If you're under that or well under that, you're going to sell at SDE terms, seller discretionary earnings terms, and so the multiple of your business will be much lower. The way that I've seen it is in order to sell an info business or an online education company, you need to shift into the EBITDA world, which they don't really like looking at anything under $3 million a year. So at least $3 million a year revenue, and then at least $1 million a year bottom line revenue. I found that that's a good sweet spot for minimum viable attractiveness to a strategic or private equity buyer. But you have to zoom out and go, what is the end game in mind? Is it to sell this business? If so, start thinking about how do we have multiple acquisition channels, paid ads, joint ventures, organic, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Google, all that stuff. The next barrier that you need to walk through is having a team of people that are ideally on W-2 or profit share. So having some sort of buy-in to where they aren't just contractors that can bail at any moment. Because once a new buyer comes in and starts running the business, they're going to want some stickiness there, some legitimacy there. The last couple things I can think of is year over year upward trend. What that means isn't that this year you're doing better than last year. It's not necessarily that. It's more January of this year should be the same or greater than January of last year. So seeing those month to month, they're not looking for a falling knife, they're looking for something that's growing. And then this one helps a lot. This is why a lot of people can sell SaaS companies, is some proprietary information. It's hard to do this in the coaching consulting space. That's why what we found is to, instead of just build training off of one guy or something, to build an educational sort of empire with multiple different coaches and so forth that isn't sticky to the individual, but to the concepts and frameworks. I just paid a lot of money to figure all that stuff out. It's not fun at all. So I figured I'd just tell you. But the main purpose of this video was to explain that if you wanted to sell your business, there's all the answers. Do all those things. But I'm saying that the next lily pad that you jump to, the next thing that you have faith that you lean into, is how do I exit this business? Because that will bring you to a position where you can sell, but even more importantly, you maintain your equity, you keep your cash flow, you maintain your lifestyle, and you have your business require 0% of your time and energy. Then you know what decisions to make on the business that can help sell it or scale it or bring it down or hand it off to your people, all that fun stuff. So I went through this kind of unique journey doing all of that, and I'm looking back going, oh, I wish I would have known all that before. One, started an info product business, and two, before I hit the 100K a month mark and didn't know what to do. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully it gives you some sort of inspiration as you're going along this journey, and I'll see you in the next one.